So today's topic that we have is how to prepare, write, and qualify the IBC exam of IBBI. This is the topic that we have for today. And as yesterday, friends, uh, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is take you through the entire process of how to prepare for this exam and how to write this exam and how to qualify this exam. Again, for the young practicing companies secretaries, it is definitely a wonderful opportunity as far as career is concerned. As far as the career is concerned, and remember, opportunities do come on your way, but if you miss them, then no amount of prayer is going to help you. Something like what happened with me before the lockdown. I had an opportunity of doing a program in Dubai, and this gentleman who had invited me to do this program in Dubai, he requested me to be his personal guest instead of checking in a hotel, and I was very happy to have consented for being his personal guest. So the next day morning, when we were about to leave for the venue, जब हम बाहर निकल रहे थे, तो मैंने देखा कि वो जो मेरे होस्ट थे, उनका छोटा बच्चा करीब 8 साल का होगा, वो भगवान के सामने खड़ा होकर प्रार्थना कर रहा है और बोल रहा है कि हे भगवान, दुबई को हिंदुस्तान की कैपिटल बना दो। हे भगवान, दुबई को हिंदुस्तान की कैपिटल बना दो। तो जब मैंने ये सुना तो मुझे थोड़ा सा अचरज हुआ कि भाई, ये छोटा सा बच्चा, समझ सकता हूँ इसका हिंदुस्तान के लिए प्रेम, पर ये क्या कि दुबई को हिंदुस्तान की कैपिटल बना दो, इसका क्या मतलब है। तो मुझसे रहा नहीं गया, मैं पीछे मुड़ के आया और मैं उस बच्चे के पास गया और मैंने उस बच्चे से बोला कि बेटा, ये क्या बात है, ये क्या बोल रहे हो कि दुबई को इंडिया की कैपिटल बना दो, दुबई को हिंदुस्तान की कैपिटल बना दो, क्या मतलब है। आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड योर लव फॉर द कंट्री, बट इजंट इट्स टू मच। तो क्या कुछ पॉलिटिक्स वगैरह ज्वाइन करने का प्लान है क्या बड़े होके। तो बच्चा बोलता है, अंकल मेरा कोई पॉलिटिक्स वगैरह ज्वाइन करने का प्लान नहीं है। दरअसल क्या है कि कल मेरा एग्जाम था और उस एग्जाम में एक क्वेश्चन था कि हिंदुस्तान की राजधानी क्या है, और मैं दुबई लिख के आया हूँ। सो रिमेंबर फ्रेंड्स, अपॉर्चुनिटीज डू कम, बट इफ यू मिस देम, then no amount of prayer is really going to help you. And this is a wonderful opportunity. The insolvency and bankruptcy code is a phenomenal opportunity for we practicing company secretaries and other professionals like chartered accountant, cost accountants, and the lawyers. And this is what we're going to cover in this session today, कि किस तरह से इस एग्जाम की तैयारी करें, किस तरह से एग्जाम को पास करें, किस तरह से क्या हमारी प्रायोरिटीज होनी चाहिए, क्या क्या एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है, और फाइनली हम चर्चा करेंगे कि वो जो 2 घंटे जब एग्जाम आप लिख रहे हो उस समय आपकी क्या अप्रोच होनी चाहिए, so that you are really able to come out of with flying colors as far as this exam is concerned. I am sure friends, some of you who are attending this session today may not have been there yesterday, so this is what is my presumption, and with this presumption I am going to cover some of the things which I may have dealt with slightly yesterday. So these are the 3 major reforms that have come in this country in last few years: insolvency and bankruptcy code, registered valuers and valuation rules of 2017, and the proficiency test for independent directors. Now remember friends, first time ever, at least in my memory, I mean I've been working for last 35 years now, 30, 35, 37 years now. First time in my memory, I have seen that the government of this country has posed so much of trust and faith and confidence in the capabilities and the competence of the professionals. So the job which earlier would have been done by the government officers is now being given to the people who are professionals like company secretaries, chartered accountants, cost accountants, and MBAs and lawyers and things like that. हमारी ये जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि हम ये एग्जाम को पास करें, और हम एज अ प्रोफेशनल, हमारे ऊपर जो जिम्मेदारी सौंपी जा रही है, जो हमको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी जा रही है, जो हमारे ऊपर ट्रस्ट गवर्नमेंट ने दिया है, हम पक्का करें कि हम वो ट्रस्ट को लिव कर पाए, सो दैट द गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो फील्स एनकरेज्ड to give more such opportunities for professionals like chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, lawyers, and things like that. So these are the three opportunities, and amazing one. Yesterday we have discussed the valuers exam, and today we are discussing insolvency and bankruptcy. Independent director also, friends, is a phenomenal opportunity. Phenomenal opportunity. As practicing company secretary, we advise the corporates. As working company secretary, we sit on the board of directors, of course, but we sit in the capacity as company secretary. But remember, this proficiency test or section 149 and 150 of the Companies Act also give us an opportunity to sit on the boards of different companies in the capacity of an independent director. And for us to become an independent director, what we just need to be a qualified professional, and plus we need to pass a proficiency test which is conducted by IICA of MCA. Very simple exam, very easy exam, nothing very difficult. But to be an independent director means again lot of responsibility as far as the corporate governance is concerned. As a matter of fact, that is what is the expectation of the government of India, that we professionals, when we go and sit on the boards of different companies in the capacity of independent directors, we are really able to help those companies enforce the good corporate governance. And that is what these three reforms are all about. Coming to the insolvency and bankruptcy code. Now, before we understand as to what does the code contain, and how should I prepare myself for passing this exam, for qualifying this exam, I think it is very important for all of us to understand as to what is the genesis of IBC. यानी कि इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी कोड को लाने की गवर्नमेंट को जरूरत क्यों पड़ी, ये हमें समझना बहुत जरूरी है सबसे पहले. और ये क्यों जब समझना जरूरी है, क्योंकि once we know what is the genesis, what is the origination, what is the origin of IBC, then we would be, when we qualify the exam, we would be really be practicing as insolvency professional in a real manner in which the expectation of the government is. So what is the genesis of IBC? Friends, I am sure all of you must have heard of as to what is the size of NPA. किसी ने सुना होगा 8 लाख, किसी ने सुना होगा 10 लाख करोड़, किसी ने सुना होगा 12 लाख करोड़, किसी ने सुना होगा 9 लाख करोड़. Let me tell you, friends, the size of the NPAs in this country since independence have been to the tune of 56 lakh crore. 56 lakh crore has been the size of the NPAs in this country. And that means what? That means since the independence, when 100 rupees were lent by the banks in this country, what came back to the banks was only 18 rupees, and 82 rupees never came back to the banks. And that is the nemesis of or genesis of the IBC. I'm sure you can understand where this all money has gone. This money, unfortunately, was siphoned off by a group of unscrupulous people. A group of unscrupulous people. And please understand, this 56 lakh crore, because we all are professional and we have a responsibility towards our country, this 56 lakh crore, please understand, is not merely a number. ऐसा नहीं है कि 56 लाख करोड़ खाली एक नंबर है, बात सुना और खत्म होगी. No. Please imagine if this 56 lakh crore of the NPA that was siphoned off by few unscrupulous people, group of people, if this 56 lakh crore would have been invested since independence in the infrastructure of this country, then today we would have been far ahead of many of the developed countries that we see today. As a matter of fact, today our government is aiming to be a $5 trillion economy by the year 25. If this 56 lakh crores, and I'm sure आप बड़ी आसानी से कल्पना कर सकते हैं कि अगर ये 56 लाख करोड़ पैसा, 56 लाख करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट देश के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में हुआ होता था, तो आज देश की जो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन है, ऑफ कोर्स टुडे देश की इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन इज फार बेटर देन व्हाट इट वाज फ्यू इयर्स बैक. तो वो कंडीशन हमारी ऐसी नहीं होती. So when this government, the current government came to power, as a matter of fact, all of you must watch that video because it is available. I'm sure it must be available on YouTube. The Prime Minister himself on the floor of the Parliament made this statement, and he said, when we came to the power, we realized that the NPA condition of our country was not as bad as we thought. It was much worse than what we thought. And he said that as a policy we decided, because we did not tell it to everyone as to how bad was our condition. Why? Because he said, if we would have told the world that this is our financial condition as far as the NPA is concerned, and he said that nobody would have come to our help, and therefore as a choice, as a design, on a purpose, we decided not to talk about it. But they kept on working, and in 2016 they came out with this code, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. नाउ आप समझ सकते हैं कि 56 लाख करोड़ का पैसा साइफन आउट हो गया और 56 लाख करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट डेड इन्वेस्टमेंट होके पड़ा हुआ है. एक कंपनी शुरू होती है, 40-50 हजार करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है, 1-2 साल कंपनी काम करती है, कंपनी बंद हो जाती है, उसकी लैंड बेकार पड़ी है, उसकी बिल्डिंग बेकार पड़ी है, उसके अंदर जो प्लांट एंड मशीनरी है उसका भी कोई यूज नहीं हो रहा है, कंपनी बंद है. प्रमोटर्स और क्रेडिटर्स हैव गॉन टू द कोर्ट के जो लॉज हैं उस समय जो लॉज थे वो इतने आर्काइक थे और इतने इनफेक्टिव थे कि सालों तक कि मामला चलते रहता था और कुछ निचोड़ निकलता नहीं था, कुछ कंक्लूजन निकलता नहीं था. एंड बाय द टाइम दे वुड कम टू सम कंक्लूजन, द assets would have rotten in any case. And therefore this government in 2016 came out with this law, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. What is the purpose behind the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code? I'm sure you can very easily understand. So what is the purpose? What is the purpose for the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code to be in as a law? The purpose is, number one, to ensure all the dead investment in the land, building and property, plant and equipment that was lying as a result of companies becoming sick or companies closing down. The objective number one was to ensure all those idle investment or dead investment should be made part of the economic stream of the country. सो दैट वो जो फैक्ट्रियां बंद पड़ी हैं, कंपनियां बंद पड़ी हैं, वो कंपनियां चालू हों और वो कंपनियां चालू हों ताकि उसका कंट्री की इकोनॉमी को बेनिफिट मिल सके. दैट वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव नंबर 1. द ऑब्जेक्टिव नंबर 2 was to stop the rot. The objective number was to stop the rot, because somewhere it has to stop. And I'm sure, friends, all of us are practicing company secretaries, practicing professional. We will know Reserve Bank of India कितने टाइम पे so many, they will come out with this norm, that norm, 3 quarter, 1 quarter, and what would happen? They would come out, some gimmick, and whereby the banker will lend the money again to the same borrower, again the money will sink, and this was going on. And the government said, no, this has to stop. So the second objective behind the IBC is to stop that rot. And please understand why stop that rot, because any money which is lost by a company, it is a loss to the economy of the nation. And please understand, when it is a loss to the economy of the nation, it is lost to every citizen of this country. If you think about it, I'm sure you will get it. So that second objective was to stop the rot. Third objective was to make the business doing easy for the people. And the fourth objective was to discipline the unscrupulous businessmen for whom it was a game to start a company, siphon off the funds, close the company, and run off. So the fourth objective was to stop that. Now, with these four objectives, the insolvency and bankruptcy law was brought into existence. And I'm sure you can understand. सीधी सी बात है, पुराने पहले भी ऐसा नहीं था कि पहले लॉ नहीं थे इंसॉल्वेंसी को रोकने के लिए थे, बट उनका कोई यूज नहीं हो रहा था. एंड यूज क्यों नहीं हो रहा